Hi everybody, I just wanted to make a quick video. I've just downloaded the latest update to Andrew Macaulay's Ultimate Collection, and I'm really excited about two of those modules which have been updated, which are the Trapezoid VCA envelope generator and the voltage controlled envelope. Um, I have to admit to being a bit of an envelope snob. I really like analog synths, particularly analog monosynths, because they tend to have an envelope generator which is completely continuous in time. So I should maybe demonstrate what I mean by that. What I've got here is the stock Cherry Audio envelope generator, and I've just got a typical ADSR type envelope shape, which is controlling both the filter cutoff and the amplitude. So very typical sort of ADSR type envelope shape. Now if you let the envelope decay all the way back to 0 and press a new note, then it picks up from 0, which is what you'd expect. But if you interrupt the envelope cycle at any point, then press a new key. With an analog monosynth and with the Cherry Audio envelope generator, it will pick up from exactly where it left off when the last key was decaying or going through its envelope attack stage or decay stage. The new note will pick up from exactly the voltage that it had reached. So if I just demonstrate that, so hold the note down, it goes through the attack, decay to sustain, and just before I let it release all the way back to 0, I'm going to play a new note and just watch where the voltage gets picked up. So you see it never really get back down to 0, and that happens no matter where you are in the envelope cycle. It's always continuous. Now, pretty well all of Andrew Macaulay's envelope generators stick to that format, but there were a notable two exceptions, which were the Trapezoid VCA envelope and the voltage controlled envelope. And I put in a request to Andrew so that it doesn't do what it used to do. I'll just demonstrate what it used to do. So if we look at the voltage controlled envelope, so again, very similar setup. You've got the envelope output controlling the filter cutoff and the amplitude level. So again, we go through the typical ADSR cycle, let it decay all the way back to 0, press a new key, does the same thing. But if you were to interrupt the cycle at any point and press a new key, what happens is that it resets immediately to 0. So you can see you get that discontinuity. There, where it goes all the way back to 0, cuts off the amplitude, and it becomes more obvious with a slower attack time. So you've got this very steep cliff edge here where it resets all the way back to 0. But what Andrew's done is introduced Retrigger Damping on this knob here. It's a new addition to the latest version of voltage controlled envelope. And in the 0% position, fully counterclockwise, that's what the voltage controlled envelope used to do in its default state previously. But you can also turn it around to 100% and it immediately goes into the sort of continuous mode. So when I press a new key, it just picks up from where the envelope has reached. You get a completely continuous trace on this. But as well as offering those two situations where it immediately resets to 0 or gives you a completely continuous output, it also allows you to do sort of proportional resets. So if I put it to 50% here, what happens is that it will reset, when you press a new key, it will reset to 50% of where the voltage had reached previously. So it doesn't cut off exactly to 0, but it does reduce. And if you do a quick trill, then the sort of proportionate drop kind of accumulates. You can make it less extreme by increasing the level. Or you can get it to go almost to 0, or slightly above 0. Which is a really nice feature. I'd never have thought of doing that. And he's also introduced the Retrigger Damping on the Trapezoid. So again, this is the old type response where you've got 0% retrigger damping. So it goes all the way back to 0 whenever you press a new key. Or you can put retrigger damping up to 100%, in which case it's completely continuous. Or anything in between those two values. So I'm really, really pleased with what Andrew's done for this. Especially as it was me that raised the request in the first place. Fantastic response from Andrew, and just wanted to say thanks very much for implementing that. It's a real boost to the functionality of both of these envelopes, and it really makes you think about what notes you're playing and how you're playing them, which I think is an important thing in any kind of synthesizer module. Anything that makes you think about how you're playing the keyboard, what notes you're playing, what spaces you're leaving in between the notes, whether you play legato, staccato, anything that makes you think about that and makes you respond with your playing, I think is really important, and it gives you a very alive sense of feedback when you're playing it. Fantastic feature, and thanks again to Andrew. Bye for now.